the success happened when we got resourceful when we did not have the money, and we made that money happen, which 99.99% of the world will not take that risk.
Right. You don't come back from a prayer singer or a Siddharth Rajsekar Quantum Club or whatever, come back home and say, now it's raining money. It's the effort starts then. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you somebody who everybody in the country knows, Sid Rajsekar.
Hey, Avi, good to be here.
Hi, Sid. This is awesome always.
Great to be here, and a big hi to this amazing group here. Yeah, my love and wishes to each one of you too. Thanks, Avi, for inviting me.
Awesome. So Sid, we have lots of questions for you. For all of you people, I already posted Sid's profile. He is the coach of coaches. He's trained all the coaches in the country. Now he has one of the largest coaching communities. And I know Sid doesn't like to hear all these accolades because he's far from the results. He's a process-oriented spiritual person. So Sid, you know what? Today I've got the opportunity to ask you some things which I knew from afar, but I'm going to ask you those as well. Okay.
Awesome.
So Sid, our first customer is your quick hero introduction.
Yeah, I'm a musician turned digital geek, got into the music industry, stumbled into the digital marketing industry, ran an agency for 6 years. And today I run one of the largest communities for trainers and coaches, over 15,000 members, husband of a loving wife, father of 2 boys, and founder of the Internet Lifestyle Hub. Slightly different from yours, but yeah, did my best.
Awesome. But our family first thing is where we connect.
Absolutely. Family always first.
Awesome. So Sid, one of the questions is that how did Avi and Siddharth meet? How did this come? You're a musician. I was in my own hospitality field. You know, we didn't know each other for the first 30, 40 years of our life. How did this happen?
So what happened, many of you will not know this, is Avi, you remember the first time we met was on a podcast. I interviewed you.
Right.
Yeah. And at that point of time, I had a podcast called some Internet Lifestyle Podcast. I was promoting some affiliate marketing stuff. And I was just looking at that point of time on the internet. And I found you on Facebook. And I observed like there were many people posting all kinds of stuff on digital marketing, but you were posting true wisdom nuggets. Like you were not just posting some random stuff. Okay, this tool and that tool and stuff. So I instantly connected with you because of the vibe of your content. I think I reached out to you. I say, hey, Avi, I want to interview you in the podcast. And that's when I think I launched that podcast. I don't think it's still there now. I think it must have pulled down on race car driver to hotelier to, internet founder of Internet Moguls. And that's when I got to know you through that interview, because I wanted to get to meet you, but I did not want it to be just like a typical meeting. But the best way to get the meeting is through a podcast interview. And that's when I got to know you. And yeah, that was, I don't know which year it was, maybe 2016 or something like that. Yeah, long time back.
But I remember I was in Vancouver. It was late. It was about 9:30, dark at night from there. And I'd done it from my terrace. Yes.
Yeah.
So guys, for all of you people, how did Siddharth and Avi meet? That was the first time, good connections, good karma, good things happened. And that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then Siddharth and I, we spoke one day, and Siddharth was in a mall with his family. I was in Canada. We connected over a call. And Siddharth, I mean, people want to hear you, not me.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about Avi is like he's super connected. He knows what's going on, all over the world, especially when it comes to our topic of digital, because he's very in tune with the trends, and he's met Gary Vee, he's met all the big names, and being in like shuttling between Delhi and Vancouver, like he knows exactly what's going on. So Avi messages me saying that, hey, Sid, I see in social media world and all this, like everybody, they're forming their own alliances and they're collaborating. Nobody's doing this in India. Even at the back of my mind, I was thinking like nobody was doing this in India. Everybody is in our own silos doing our own things. So I said, okay, let's start a group. I created a WhatsApp group. I still remember it was called Digital Heroes of India. That was the title of the group. And then I knew Digital Deepak before itself. So I added Deepak on board. Then I added Saurav on board, Saurav Jain. He was also on my phone list. We did some event together sometime back. He invited me to speak at some doctors conference. So I knew Saurav from there. Then who else did we add? Then Avi added a few others. Then because Deepak was there, Sanjay came in. And then the full gang, we grouped together on the WhatsApp group. And what happened after that was the interesting thing. We started to meet every Sunday. You remember Sunday morning we used to
Oh,
meet,
yes.
and we just used to just hang out on Zoom. No agenda, nothing. No, forget. We don't even care whether we're going to make it into any business or anything like that. But we just started to meet every Sunday just to get to know each other. And yeah, that's how it started, Avi. And then the Chennai event happened. We all met in Chennai for the first time. That was magical.
So, guys, I want to just add to this. So, Siddharth created the community, and the good part about how we like our this partnership between Sid and me is I'm restless, and Sid says, "Let's just do what is good today." So, when we said what will happen, Sid, what will happen? 9 people are coming. What are we going to do? On he said, "Let's just go with the flow." So he's always the person who's in the moment and said, "Oh, let's just focus on today, Avi. Let's focus on today." So I'm always trying to go 4 steps ahead, and he pulls me back to today, and that's the focus of now, power of now, and the big word that Siddharth uses in his book. That all of you people who are wanting to become coaches or anything you do in life, you're a coach to yourself. You must get that book. You Can Coach. For all of you people, I'm going to put the link here as well. But so the coaching that Sid gave me always was, he doesn't know it maybe, but the coaching that he always gave me was, let's just focus on right now. Then we came to the Chennai event, and the Chennai event was sold out. We all went, we felt like rock stars going there. We walked in, it was the 15th of August and it was Rakhi. There were two things parallel.
Avi, I think you're talking about Mumbai. Chennai was our mastermind. Mumbai was the event. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
yes.
Chennai, we met for the first time when we didn't know each other. It was
Yeah.
almost 9 strangers meeting and trying to see where the vibes match. Yes. And fast forward to the Mumbai event, 15th August and Rakhi. So again, I'm like, what's going to happen? How many people are going to come? What 300, 400, fill up the seats and all of that. So that said, it's good things will happen. Let's just leave it to, things to happen. And on that day, on a holiday, there were 1,000 seats sold out completely. That was our first
Yeah.
biggest event. And so thanks, Sid, for always keeping me in the now whenever I go crazy. Then, ladies and gentlemen, for what the next question that you all always ask me, how did I get started on webinars and micro videos and all of that? So webinars, I got started only because of Sid, because my only focus was to become a family first entrepreneur. And that is what I used to keep telling Sid. What I tell everybody very freely now is what I used to talk behind closed doors only to Sid. I just said, you know what? I'm doing my agency is successful, my hotel is successful, but somehow I'm missing my family. I just want to go back. I want to be with them. What should I do? I'm just talking to him like a brother. I'm not asking him to give me a tool. I just need to do something to be there. He said, Avi, let's start doing webinars. Now, I was doing a webinar with Gopal Krishnan. He was teaching me. We were doing 7999 and all of that. Sid
Yeah.
said, Avi, I think with you're talking well. You just raise the bar, do more, 400 people, 500 people. And after that, I think now I've done 1,000 webinars, and said, I promise you, not a
Wow.
single webinar I do without thinking that this is not mine. This is all yours.
I will pass it on to people that I learned from. I think nothing is ours. We are just, but I'm so glad,
Right.
Avi. I remember that time also, COVID and the entire change of your business. And that was the moment where I think you just stepped on it. Like, and I really love your perseverance. And, you had to pay those salaries, and not many people here know about the pressures that you have gone through, to really make it happen. Like
Right.
1,000 webinars now you can say, but that first
Yeah.
webinar, I know that feeling that you are in, Avi, and I'm super proud of like where you've come. Yeah, amazing.
Thank you, Sid. Guys, every time I did a webinar, Sid said, this time you should get 10 sales. Sid, I got only 2. Okay, change this. I got only 5. Now I got 17. Now it's back to 1. Now it's 0. Now I'm this. So every time, and I used to say, Sid, let's do a call. Every time there was a call and a reframing and a call and a reframing. But I want to tell all of you people, one of the most important points that happened was during COVID, and I said it in Gaurav Bhagat's interview also, and I mentioned what Sid had done for me. During COVID, was one of the most stressful times. My body was not registering it. But thanks to being around my family and friends, like Sid, it did not manifest into something. But when a 225-person business shuts down immediately with at least 3 months of salaries to pay and an expense of at least 1 crore per month, I didn't know what next steps I should take. I remember calling Sid and I said, Sid, I need to start creating revenue through webinars right now. It's like, it's like saying that I just joined the gym, but in the next, I have to start competing on the Olympic stage right now. Sid's response was, okay, let's do it. When do you want to do it? Let's do a date. So we decided Monday night. Monday night, we did a webinar, and it was Sid's product. And I said, Sid, we really need to make revenue. I'm sharing with all of you people all this. This is just because all of you people said, bring this personal conversation, so making it as personal. I called Sid and I said, today, Sid, I need to make revenue today. Like I was putting pressure on him. I need to make revenue. Sid said, just relax, don't worry. On a 7,999 package, Sid did a webinar of 9,63,000 rupees that night. That was the first big revenue or that. And after that, many big things happened. But when COVID happened, so that just set my mind opening up to the fact that it can happen. And I said, now I just want to be a very good student and I want to understand exactly what happens. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a power of, I keep telling all of you people, Sangat. Sangat, company of the right people all the time. And that's what I'm blessed. I always say that with folded hand, I'm blessed to be to be able to pick up the phone at morning, afternoon, evening, anytime after 4 a.m. Sid is not available to anybody in the world because that's his morning time. But I call him because I know he's awake, to be able to have access to say, you know what, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking not good, or I'm thinking very good. What should I do? So just wanted to say thanks for that, Sid.
Amazing, Avi. Always there. Yeah.
Sid, tell me one thing. Now what happens is that once you start creating, I don't like to use the word pioneer loosely, but when it comes to digital coaching in India, you're the pioneer. You started a road where there was nothing. Now, for all of us here, many of here are people from our elite batch, and they're all starting something new. And many times there's a self-doubt. I've never done this before. Will I be able to do it? I'm sure you had many of those doubts because you were a musician, you were doing a job, then you were running an agency. And then to come here, what did you deal with, and how did you deal with those mental pressures?
Honestly, nothing was prepared because I was going through my own financial and family issues at that point of time. Like some of you know, like I was also running an agency. I think that's when we also met.
Right.
You were doing super well in your agency, but agency was not even, it was not in my blood. I was not getting it right. Cash flows all over the place. When I would take my wife out for a dinner, I would look into the menu and buy the cheapest item on the menu. And it was very sad. Everybody thought from outside, okay, Siddharth Rajsekar, co-founder of Science Social Digital Marketing Agency, but I was going through very, very tough times. We were doing some good campaigns. I loved the job. I was feeling invigorated doing the stuff, doing work for others. But cash flow was a big, big challenge. So it was at that point, Avi, I decided that I don't want to do this services business anymore. Like I don't want to have a big, I had 35 employees, and I can imagine the stress you would have, like 200 employees. It's insane, man. I do not know how you're I mean, that shows that you are able to create that structure for that nature of business. I was not cut out for it. So I said, let me now, I want to start doing products. I want to start selling products. And even if it's not my product, it's okay. But I just want more freedom and I want more peace of mind, at that point of time. So I started with affiliate marketing, and then I was promoting Vic's product. I don't think you know this story, Avi, but what happened was I was promoting 4% Vic, and it was a ClickBank product. I had around $25,000 of commission sitting in ClickBank, and ClickBank, due to some compliance issue with 4%, my commissions got stuck. So I could not get the 4% commission. I was promoting his products. I was some $20,000 was due to me. It did not come. So I was forced to create my own product. I was running ads. So whatever I learned from Vic, I just created that into the freedom business model. The first version in August 2018, just so that I could recuperate my ad costs, because my money was stuck there. Probably if the money had come, I would still be doing some affiliate marketing thing. Okay.
Of course. Yeah, Ritu is right. Divine plan.
It was a divine plan. And then, did the first version of freedom business model. And I only promoted freedom business model just so that I can make affiliate marketing income. So through that course, I thought, let me promote ClickFunnels and everything else and make money through that. That was the whole idea. But then that took on a totally different shape, because the first 100, 200, 500 customers started to come in. And then as I was getting feedback from the communities, like they want to know how to find their niche. They want to know how to design they wanted to learn about curriculum design. And then Then I bought Russell Brunson's 10x Secrets course, where he did a $3 million on Grant Cardone stage. Then I took a lot of notes and I took elements and created my own version of the webinar selling formula. I adapted that for webinar. So the beautiful thing is that 18-month journey, the extent to which I was able to get feedback from the community and I was able to recreate like new models pertaining to India market, because international market cost per lead is like through the roof and they all have to start at $1,000 level. But here we have the privilege of starting at like 5,000 and 10,000 rupee products, because CPL is like 30-40 rupees. We can do that.
Right.
So it just took its own shape and form, Avi. Like if you're saying, the pioneering happened because I did not know what next, just taking the next step and the next step. But I have to thank the community, because if I was not getting that feedback, I would not be taking that action. I was just going with community. And by the way, the first 1 year, Avi, I did around 500 one-to-ones. Every day I would do 4 one-to-ones. Like anyone would buy my product, I would do a one-to-one session just to find out. And Rishabh comes to me and he says, Dad, you're selling the freedom business model, but you don't have any freedom. He told me on my face.
Oh my God.
And then it was quite hilarious. And so I told Rishabh, just wait for some more time. Okay. So it's been I would never change the story, but I think it has been such a magical journey, honestly. Yeah.
Amazing. One step after the other, you don't know. So you've heard it from the master himself. You don't have to worry about knowing exactly how things are going to pan out. It's not your job. Your job is to focus on the next step. Feedback from your existing work, people who bought it, and then next step. And that's the only thing that you can do.
Yeah.
So it's very important for everybody to hear this, because people feel that there will be a clear picture in my head and I'll go towards chasing that, and that almost never happens. But Sid, when it comes to amongst all 9 of us, everybody has some different superpower. Your superpower, one of the things is, but according to me, is if you attend, like you said, you got Russell Brunson's course. Everybody in the world has got Russell Brunson's course. But whatever you buy, or whatever you see, or whatever you observe on stage, or somebody doing something, or you go back into silence 2 days, or you do a retreat, and you come back and you've implemented everything. Like you put everything together. How does that happen? And should everybody do everything to themselves, or they should hire experts? What should people tell themselves? I'm not a tech person. Siddharth can put everything together. So 2 questions. One, what comes into your mind? Did you see a picture? Are you like, I need to make this happen? And second, how should people, when they see an idea, how should they go and approach it?
Got it. So I'll tell you, my personality is this, because I did my sound engineering. I'm a musician. So I've always been a little on the geekier side since my childhood days. So when I did my sound, I used to do a lot of editing work. I've done, you may not know this, but I've recorded over 180 songs in 1 year when I was doing my sound engineering days, like right through end-to-end process, like right from recording the drums, recording the bass, getting it on the software, doing the editing part. So I've done it for so long that when it comes to any kind of technology thing, or like taking something from concept to completion, I've done many rounds of that in the music industry. Okay. And then the next phase of my journey was ringtones. I used to make ringtones for mobile phones. I think I've done more than 1,000 ringtones I've personally recorded. Okay. Everything. In fact, I don't listen to that much of Bollywood and stuff, but every song, right from Lata Mangeshkar or R.D. Burman days till the latest, I would say 2000, every Bollywood song, I've made that into a ringtone and used to supply it. So I got exposed to a lot of, projects like this. I'm very thankful that I was put in those zones during the work days. So naturally, I developed a kind of efficiency in work, like managing spreadsheets. So I was both combination of creative and analytics. I used to manage spreadsheets. Like for Tata Teleservices, they had this app before iPhone days. If you remember, they had this Tata Zone. You press that button and you have an app store, like very old Stone Age app store. So I was the guy managing that app store. I used to decide, okay, which wallpaper should be on the top, which ringtone should be on the top, or the latest Bollywood movie which should be there, that hit song, I'll place it right on the top. So that whole consumer thing, I spent a lot of time in that also, at least one or 2 years. So when in Steve Jobs, when he says, you connect the dots backwards, when I connect the dots backwards, like all those experiences have led me to, like, now if I see a piece of technology, like I can just I know exactly how to like put that into action, not from a perspective of what the tool does, but how to aesthetically use that tool. Like Photoshop, everybody knows Photoshop can be used to design. But a professional designer would approach Photoshop in a very different way. Like he would probably open up a few tools in a particular way. So because of doing that for so long now in digital, when I moved from the music to the mobile to the digital world, when I was running the agency also, I've been trying all kinds of tools and technologies, running campaigns. So I've been a lot in that geeked out zone, always trying new things. So now if you ask me, if I look at something new, first I just take one step back and look at it in terms of how is it going to help my community. Like I don't want to just pick something because I want to do it, okay? Because it's like the shiny object in the space. Is it going to add value to what I'm doing now? Is it aligned to my mission? Before it was all random, like anything shining, I would just go and jump into it, okay? And I've spent a lot of money, at least I have to put a number, maybe 20 lakhs or something. I just gone on stuff, just swiping every card, my card into all kinds of stuff. So that the whole tactile way of working has come over many years of doing things. So having said that, now for somebody who's starting off on the journey, maybe you're a non-technical person or whatever. So I tell my students it is good to have a hands-on, to have some kinds of hands-on experience. You don't have to be like super pro. Like you don't have to know everything of what happens, but at least know what are the most important things so that you can better guide others when you have to guide others. So especially now, like even in your case, Avi, like if you have to do like a micro video, you just know which apps to pull out and which to do. But if you want like super high definition editing with B-roll and music, we can give it to an editor. But having that hands-on definitely gives an edge for like coming 100. Up with new things. Like even like all the Facebook ads, I've been running ads on my own for the first 18 months. So now I know better how to guide the agency. Like if my ads are not working, I can quickly look into the dashboards and find out where the holes are. And same with design. So whether it's Photoshop or design or the cover art boxes or website design, the aesthetic elements. I mean, I've just been blessed that I was at the right place at the right time where I had the combination of both tech and design, where I'm able to use it now in a much more fast way. So I would recommend each one of you here who are listening is be open to embracing technology, because if you're saying I'm a non-technical person, we are in 2022. You can't say that. Okay. You have to drop those tags and start embracing technology, because now we are just beginning with what we're doing. But Avi, you know this, like we are moving into the metaverse, it's going to be even more immersive as the years go by. But the key here is to understand the principles of how any tool works, and irrespective of what the tool may be in the future, you can always adapt to it. Like for example, if you know how to manage one email marketing system, you can always adapt to something new. If you know how to run Facebook ads, you can always look into other dashboards. So get hands on. That's my message, and then get hands off after that. Yes.
So very nice ending to this part of the interview, guys. First, get hands-on so you know what's happening. Nobody can take you for a ride. You can get in and fix your own problems if needed, and then get hands-off as you expand. A few people, remember, whatever you think is not working for you or is difficult, somewhere these are all connecting, and they are going to connect. That's how the universe and the software works. But I wanted to add an interesting anecdote over here. So we are 9 masters, and here is Sid, who can on his when we're doing a 1,000 or 5,000 or 3,500 or 6,000 people webinar, when the 9 masters were doing those big webinars, Sid is managing everything. So everybody's sending Sid the like he's managing the show. Then comes a complete non-techie like me, and I'm like, everything is ready. Oh, Sid, my computer's not working. This is not working. Can you handle my presentation? So I can only talk, and he's handling the presentation from there. So Sid, thank you for saving me in times like those where there are thousands of people there and my presentation doesn't work. Sid said, just send it to me, and he's syncing what I'm saying with the presentation. He's running the presentation from Chennai. I'm in Vancouver. It was just crazy, but I'm sharing it with all of you.
That was super fun, Avi.
I'm panicking what's going to happen. He's like, just send it to me, we'll work it out. I'm sharing this with all of you people because I'm just want to show two things. Because when I'm with Sid, I become a schoolboy again because it's like old friends meeting.
Yeah.
Also, I promised all of you people that there's going to be a little bit behind the scenes for all of you people to know what's going to happen. Okay. So next part of the question is, so Sid, when it comes to one thing I think that we aligned on was a little bit of always having a little bit of spirituality in everything that we do, and the family aspect. So
Yeah.
so how is now versus earlier? Now a lot of people know you. Everybody wants to take pictures and all of that, but it's sometimes I'm just assuming it's difficult to you know to be in your own space, because I know how much you value your own me time, alone time, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you say nobody can call me, email and everything. So you've made systems where you spend maximum time with the most important person, which is you. So if you can just give us a little bit of a lowdown to the 70 people over here, how important it is to spend time with yourself and how you prioritize that nobody can call you and everything is on Zoom and everything is structured like that.
Yeah, I think from the time I started my business till now, for me, my lifestyle has kind of been the same. Like even now, because I would say 95% of whatever I'm doing is only on Zoom. And I hardly go out. I do go out. I do go to malls, and once in a while, people they say I've seen you on YouTube and stuff like that. I know you would also experience that. Okay, but the beautiful thing about this business is it's niche fame. Okay, it's not mainstream fame. Like we're not like a superstar or a Bollywood or a cricket star where we can't go anywhere. Okay, but the beautiful thing is when you meet somebody, it's really nice. When I'm able to connect with people and they say, okay, I saw your video on YouTube. It really made a difference, and it's like, wow, that's cool. And that nobody intrudes my space. Actually, when I look at it right now, my lifestyle is in such a way that it's nobody intrudes my space. I think everyone understands that. Even my community from beginning, I've kind of nurtured them into a process where all the communication happens through emails. Uh, my mobile number is never out anywhere, and even if somebody finds, I think they understand that space, and they don't just message me. On Telegram, once in a while I get messages, but I'm not so busy responding to messages. Of course, I have teams that help me and get back. And so the way that I've structured things is I've told my community is anything is just one email we have. Okay, just what I realized and learned from Sam Owens, I've been part of his mastermind too, is don't have too many channels of communication.
Okay.
When you open up too much, then it just hits you from everywhere. In the beginning, it'll be fine. Like suppose you just put your mobile number in your email signature and send that email to like 2,000 people. That's it. You're gone. Okay. So that one thing can open up. It can actually become such a big, what do you say, mind share. It just gobbles up the mind share, and you're just taken straight on, head on. So for me, it's to have one single channel of communication, only email. Yes, there are messages that come on Instagram and others, but I have teams that will respond, and it's not customer related stuff. It's usually like external things that get responded to in a different way. So the way that I'm operating now is actually quite stress-free. If you ask me, I'm not so active. I don't have Instagram on my phone. I don't have Facebook on my phone. I've removed all notifications from WhatsApp. So my phone is never buzzing on anything. I just have 4 apps on my phone. Okay, I mean, this is like a little radical, but yeah, digital marketers, and you may be thinking like, what the hell? But yeah,
No, 100%.
4 applications.
Amazing.
Okay, so 4 plus I've got the regular mail and stuff. So if I have to do anything, I just go on the browser, just get it done and come out of it. And I don't spend so much time thinking about what others are talking about me, or it's just, I like to just be in that space. Yeah. It's peaceful, Avi.
I am pretty sure. No, I've gone that route since it's been 2.5, 3 months, and I've been talking about it to the community as well. I've got 2 phones. The second phone has got everything that happens when I want to go into the mad zone, and that phone is only on my desktop. And coincidentally, I've left that phone in Vancouver, so I'm living a very stress-free visit here to India.
Nice.
So, Sid, I wanted to ask, so guys, you understand your own personal time and space is yours. If you think you're busy, Siddharth has 15,000 people in his community, and he's saying he's not busy. So if you are busy, there's something that you need to fix to understand what is it that you're overextending on, and then make sure that you bring your time back, own your time back.
Yeah. In fact, there's a formula, I would love to share that formula.
So, please.
It's multiplication through subtraction. Okay. So you can only multiply your impact in the world by subtracting all the crap and all the fills. Okay, and just focus on the most important. And so I don't say yes to all meetings. And I say no to like hundreds of them, because right, Avi, all the
Sure.
influencer gigs and people keep saying,
Sure.
okay, why don't you promote? No, thank you. Okay, and stuff, things that are most important, only that. Yeah, so that really helps. Multiplication to subtraction. Yeah.
You said you invested in, so you got 15,000 people, you're creating the revenue that you want, everything is working. And then you decide to go and invest a major chunk. If you're comfortable sharing, you can, otherwise totally up
Yeah.
to you. In major chunk in Sam Owen's course. So that
Yeah.
to me, how does that work? So every time you always you feel to be a good coach, you have to be a good student, or what's a mindset
Yeah.
behind that?
There's a theory I have, Avi, which kind of I was able to validate it. Okay, so the theory is uh, the amount that you would have spent in your personal development. Like I can say clearly that the amount that I have spent on personal development is over 1 crore. Okay,
Sure, easy.
that's technically that is
I know that.
Yeah, that is how much you should be making per month, which I am. Okay, so and the other theory is the highest amount that you are ever going to be spending for your own education, like in the case of Sam Owens, it was a 25 lakh rupee per year program. Once you make that transaction, you have the moral authority to charge people that same amount because you have been through it. So it's a game of like, even I can see I launched my quantum club. So what happened was Sam Owens was he had his quantum mastermind. I was going to launch my own quantum mastermind. Again, big thanks to you, Avi, because you only pushed me to the high ticket game. Otherwise, I was still playing in the under 1 lakh rupee zone. And
I know
after watching
much
you,
higher than you will.
yeah. So then, okay, I thought before I charge a high ticket program, I need to swipe first. So the week before I launched my quantum program, I swiped 25 lakhs on my Amex card.
Nice.
And I told, and then next week when I went, I did the sales pitch for my quantum group. At that point, I was selling it at 5 lakhs plus GST. There were 40 people in the room, and 25 of them bought on the spot. That was the highest I'd made in a single day. Okay, so
and
that conviction in me came because I had done that transaction.
Right.
Okay. And I'll tell you, even if I have to backtrack in time, in 2016, I'd invested 7 lakh rupees borrowing my family member's credit card to go for Blair Singer's program in Bangkok. That was a InfoCat. It's called Making the Stage. It was a 7 lakh rupee investment. At that point, I had to borrow money to do it, but I knew I wanted to do it. So usually in this game, what I've noticed is people who are super successful, they usually, the pattern of the story, be it Rajiv or Pooja or any one of the 10, including, I mean, even in your case, like the success happened when we got resourceful, when we did not have the money, and we made that money happen, which 99.99% of the world will not take that risk.
Right.
That's what brings the people to the top 1%. So you want to be in the top 1%, you should be willing to do what 99% they do not, which is something like this. Yeah.
Love it.
So I'll just recap the theory. The highest investment that you ever make in your own education is what you'll have the authority to charge others. And the total investment that you have made in your education so far, that's technically how much you should be making per month. If you're not, that means you're only learning, you're not implementing.
Awesome. Perfect. That is so beautiful. But Sid, I remember that message that you sent when the Quantum Club thing happened. And amazing. Only you could do it, by the way. Amazing. But for all of you people, what I'm trying to, the point that I want to drive home to all of you people who took the time out on a beautiful night tonight to come out and listen to Sid, is that there is no magical power that he was born with. He said he was doing ringtones and he was doing, other editing work for sound, which was not where he was feeling happy and comfortable, but he was doing it. He was borrowing money from his relative to go to somewhere as close as Bangkok. That 7 lakh rupees was missing. So for all of you people, if you feel that things come to you, ideas and resources and a good sangat comes to you, but then you have to stretch yourself beyond. I can only imagine that with a young family, to convince your wife and to convince yourself and your parents and everything that I don't have the money, but I'm now going to, and you'd also mentioned in your book or somewhere that you also had to pawn the jewelry for some time to be able to.
Except my wife's the tali, which is the gold, the main, thing that I tied for her when we got married. Everything else I had pawned. And she actually gave me the gold, 10 lakh rupee gold loan I had taken. It was very, very stressful, Avi, but I had to make it happen. For me, it was family first, and I don't advise this for everyone, but
Right.
but the thing is, I had to make it or break it, and I didn't want to get back to like living a mediocrity life and stuff. So I invested. That was another part of the journey where I had to pawn our marriage gold jewelry to make things happen.
Not easy. I can't even imagine in my head. If I close my eyes, I can't even imagine how that's going to happen. But guys, for all of you people, the point that I want to drive home is two things. One is only maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4% people will say, I'll take the jump to take that program or do that investment in myself. Everybody else will have skepticism, excuses, doubts, fear, and some of them are justified. But the point that I want to tell all of you people is what Sid said 3 minutes ago is that once you've got that learning, if you're not getting results, because say when Siddharth went for that 7 lakh rupee program, maybe there were 200 people there. All 200 people today are not making the same revenue.
Yes.
So, but they took the same guts. They had the same guts. They also did something. So well done to them. But it's not the end of the game. The end of the game is to what Sid said in the first part of the series, that I kept on taking one step at a time, listening to them, implementing, because you don't come back from a Blair Singer or a Siddharth Rajsekar Quantum Club or whatever, come back home and say, now it's raining money. It's the effort starts then.
Hi guys, Avi here. Thank you very much for watching this episode. It's so much fun bringing all of this to you, but honestly, it is difficult editing, post-production, getting people together. But when you watch till the very end, it feels great. So thank you very much. Now, I'm going to give you something. An opportunity to connect with me and my ecosystem. I have an email called workwithaviarya@gmail.com. Now, what are the possibilities of working with me? Number one, if you are somebody who's liking this content that I'm putting out and saying, you know what, Avi, I want to get into your coaching. I want to get into your ecosystem. I want to understand how this works. I have a school called the Internet Moguls Business School, where we have 2 programs for entrepreneurs. Send me an email at workwithaviarya, subject Internet Moguls Business School, and then tell me about your business, what are the challenges that are happening. And accordingly, one of our sales consultants will call you, they'll tell you about your business, and finally they'll connect you with me, and we'll see if you're the right fit to work together. Number 2, if you want me to consult with you, just consulting one-on-one, understanding your business, giving you a 3-month, 5-month roadmap. So work with Avi Arya, subject consulting, and then give me all the details about your business. Next, if you want my agency to help you, you could be a product or a service, a coach, a trainer, whatever. You want us to help us set up your get known, get leads, get sales, and set up a proper system for you. Then same thing, work with Avi Arya, and in the subject you will write agency help, and in the end tell me exactly what you want me to do for you and what are the challenges that you're facing. And if you want to work with me in my team as a freelancer, as part-time, full-time, get into the team, work remotely from anywhere in the world, again, work with Avi Arya and say, I want to join your team, and then tell me about yourself. Ideally, for all these things, when you put in a subject, follow it with a nice micro video so I know more about you, because I check every email myself and I'd love to get back to you and connect you with the right people in the right company. So eventually when we talk, we have all these things figured out. Finally, if you want to interview me for your podcast or your YouTube channel, email me at podcastwithaviarya@gmail.com. So there you go. Two ways to connect with us. Work with Avi Arya, and you've got the multiple options, and you've got podcast with Avi Arya, and we can podcast together. So thank you very much for watching the videos. Don't forget to watch all these videos. Send me an email. Would love to hear from you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Avi Arya, signing off for now. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. There's a link over here which has got all my emails for you to get in touch with me as well. Click on the link and get in there. See you. Look forward to hearing that email from you. Bye for now.